Well, good afternoon. I'd like to welcome you to the Los Alamitos Army Airfield. We love having the Thunderbirds in town for the Pacific Airshow, and I know you guys love coming to town. I think you've been here at every 6 or 7, maybe, out of all of the air shows that the Thunderbirds are here. So welcome to town.
Thank you.
I hope you have a great time. Enjoy Southern California. Enjoy our beaches, and enjoy performing in front of a few million people.
Yes, sir.
So it sounds like a good time to me. I have a few different questions for you. One is I want to talk to you about your call sign. What would your call sign be? And can you do the call signs from 1 to 8 for me after that? Just
yes, sir.
To hear them all.
My name is Major Zachary Taylor, Thunderbird 2, the left wing on the Thunderbirds. My call sign is Zeke, and down the line, number 1, we call him Boss. Affectionately, he's known as Boss to everybody on the team.
Nice.
His official call sign is Astro, but to us, he's Boss. Number 3 is Primo. Number 4 is Threat. Number 5 is Thunder. Number 6 is Miami. Number 7 is Flash, and number 8 is Simmer.
You passed the test. Now, are there call signs for people further than that? Thunderbirds
Yes,
9
sir.
through.
All
And if
of
you
our
don't
support
mind,
officers.
if you know any of them, yeah.
Yes, sir. So number 9 is Angry. Number 10 is Smoke. 11 is Swag, and number 12 is Agent.
That's awesome. I love signs. You can call me Gumby. That's my call sign.
Perfect. Sounds good.
Yeah, because I'm very flexible. As an aviation photographer, I really am, and my friends are always interested in vapor and afterburners.
Yes, sir.
So, what can you tell me about vapor, and if you try and create it, anything about it, what causes it, if you expect to have more vapor over Huntington Beach, over the coast, that kind of thing? And then maybe a little bit about afterburners, because
Okay.
those are two great
Perfect.
shots.
Yeah, those are great questions. We as fighter pilots love vapor as well. So vapor is definitely dependent on the moisture content in the air. So here over Huntington Beach, we expect to have pretty high moisture content. And then also the aircraft design has a lot to do with it. You see a lot of F-18s making very big vapor clouds, and that's just an aircraft design. The F-16 will also make vapor, but in very different areas. And then as you're going through different speeds and different G onset rates, that's when the vapor comes in. So big ones to look out for the Thunderbird 6 doing his max turn, half Cuban, that's where you expect to see a lot of Gs, sneak passes from the solos, and then any of the uphill maneuvers for the diamond. That's where you expect to see a lot of vapor. For afterburner, we love to be an afterburner as well. This amazing F-16 Block 52 with a big T-29 motor on it has almost too much power. So we'll put the speed brakes out to kind of keep it controllable with the afterburners. You'll see number 6 go through a max turn. He's at a couple hundred feet over the water, sometimes as low as 100 feet in full afterburner. And then right after him, we'll bring the 4-ship in full afterburner, bring it back around for a diamond in full afterburner. So pretty spectacular what we can do while in afterburner.
Well, us aviation photographers really appreciate that, and I'm sure you see all the pictures, and those are definitely some of our favorites. We're always trying to capture that. Those are the money shots,
yes,
and bank shots as well. We're always looking for bank shots,
too. I'd like to
too.
urge you as photographers, number 1, his speed brakes, when they're opened up from behind, you'll see that they say blind trust in them, and then the solos, as they open up their speed brakes, they'll say solos rule on the inside. So if they're in full afterburner with the speed brakes out, if you can get in there with a good zoom lens, you'll get to see one of our hidden slogans inside the speed brakes.
That is a great tip, because I've never captured that. I'm sure some of my friends who are next level from mid-level, I have friends that are next level, and some of the great famous aviation photographers around. And I'd love to see that. Maybe I'll have to figure out a way to see that while we're here.
Yes,
Might be easier to catch it right here than on the in the air, but
definitely.
We'll see. The sneak pass during your show. You guys do a sneak pass? I know most teams seem to do one, and it always catches me off guard. And what can you tell me about it? Is it really sneaky? Or, I mean, what's the deal?
So our sneak passes are extremely sneaky. So our show is choreographed in a way that we try to catch your attention, look at the spectacular diamond going one way, and then from over your shoulder, sometimes from the left, sometimes from the right, you never know where it's coming from. There's a sneak pass coming, and they are just below the speed of sound going, just about as fast as possible, legally over land. So it's amazing, and it is very surprising when it happens.
So it really is sneaky, because I'm always trying to look out for it, and I almost can never catch it. And you're going so fast, like you said, you're going. And how fast would that be? About approximately
600 miles an hour, so just right below the speed of sound.
Wow, those are always spectacular.
Yes.
I rarely can catch them because you're so sneaky. Now, is it standard when you return to base, to a place like this where the air show is not really here, the people aren't here? When you return to base, do you tend to do a flyover, some sort of maneuver before you come in standardly? I know the group would love it if you do it. In the past, quite often there has been a lot of flyovers on return to base. Is that something you will be doing this year or normally do?
The end of our show, it depends on a lot of factors, but the end of our show, usually these beach shows that we call deployed shows, where we're taking off from one location, flying the show in a different location. These deployed shows will end the show with what's called a beach run flat pass. With the individuals who still have gas left, we'll rejoin and we'll do one more photographic pass over the beach. That's like our flyover, and then we're directly to the field to land. We're trying to get on the ground as quickly as possible, especially in this congested airspace here in California. We need to get our jets on the ground as quickly as possible to avoid congestion with the airspace.
Well, make sure when you're coming in, bank it in here, not far that way. You're probably going past my house, so if you see a crazy guy in his backyard waving, you can maybe wave back. I don't know, but I'm right there on the flight path. One thing I'd like to talk to you about is community involvement, which I think is so important for what you do, and a big aspect, I think, of what you do. Can you talk to me a little bit about what type of community involvement you do, and if you'll be doing anything while you're in town, if you know? And maybe even if there's a favorite moment, something that comes to your mind of community involvement at a hospital or something that touched your heart, something like that.
Definitely. So flying jets is what the crowd sees. And we love flying airplanes, but it's so much more than that. This team, we're known as the Ambassadors of Blue. We're trying to do so much more than just fly airplanes. The show is very much an inspirational piece. What you'll see is now that we're back in school season, the team's going to get out into the local schools, usually Friday morning. When that happens, you'll see this week it's going to be our solos going out into the school system. We'll go anywhere from elementary school to high school. We'll get in, we'll talk about our journey growing up, how we got into the Air Force, what the Air Force has provided for us, and then just the inspirational touch of what does it take to have a dream and achieve that dream. That's what we love to do. Whether that's the military, whether it's flying jets, it can be just about anything. We love to tell students in that very malleable age in high school that you can set a dream and you can chase it no matter what it is. It's not too big. So we love to do that. We also get involved in children's hospitals, VFWs, VA hospitals. We're, depending on the location and what they have available for us, we're trying to get as involved as possible with local community.
Well, that's great. I think that's such an important part in my mind of what you do, and the recruiting aspect of it too, which you kind of referred to a little bit in that. And I think that's a very important aspect to it as well. Let's have a couple more questions. I don't want to take all your time, but do you plan to do any sort of joint flyover or flight with the Snowbirds while they're here? We love the Snowbirds, and we'd love to see the two of the teams up together. Do you know if there are any plans for that?
As of now, I don't think there are any plans to fly information together. We'll definitely on the ground be working together, learning from each other. Two very, very professional and credible teams, trying to learn as much as possible from each other. But as far as these demos go, we are max performing our fuel when it comes to the show. So there are no plans currently to be flying information with the Snowbirds.
Okay, well, I certainly hope those plans formulate maybe on a Monday or something, or because that's, once again, as an aviation photographer, that's something we would love to see that. It may not be at the air show, but maybe another time. Hopefully you can work on that.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, let me know. Give me my card.
I will.
Just a couple last things. What are there anything that I haven't asked you about that you don't really get asked that often, something you really like to talk about or express or say to people, say to the Facebook group and a much wider audience than that? Just anything on your mind?
I just think in general, you see the show from the ground. The show was rewritten in 2020. We partnered with Disney to work on the choreography, the music, the formations, and everything's been rewritten. So in the last 3 or 4 years, you've seen a cultural overhaul of the Thunderbirds. Formations are tighter than they've ever been. The show is put together in a way that, it just draws people to the show. And when you're watching the show, we are really that close. We are really flying that fast. And it really is that low to the ground. There's no automation in this. We're really proud of the amount of work we've put into this throughout the year for training season to get to this point of the year, our biggest show in Huntington Beach, Pacific Airshows. We are extremely excited to put on this amazing show for you guys.
Well, that's very awesome. I'd like to just step in the frame real quick and thank thank you and say hello.
Yes, thank you so much for having us.
Very great to have you here.
Yes, sir.
In Southern California for the Pacific Airshow. This week I'll be going out to the Los Alamitos Army Airshow. Plus later on YouTube, more involved in really so hopefully we'll get the video out for a lot of people to enjoy.
Yes, sir.
So I appreciate
Thank you
your
so
time
much.
very much. Enjoy the show. Enjoy Southern California.
Thanks, sir.
Take care.
Bye.
How'd I do, sir?